Okay, so there's a lot of different kinds of percent word problems, okay? So put that away for me, please, okay? Don't pass notes or things like that, if that's what it is.
Valentine's card?
Okay, just put it away, okay? Just put it away. It's Valentine's Day, right? Wouldn't you know? Okay, percent word problems. So there's a lot of percents, when people say, when am I ever going to use this stuff? You're going to use this all the time. You're probably going to use this stuff every week for the rest of your life if your parents make you figure out the tip when you go to the restaurant, right? It's all percents. That's what it is. When you do tips, you have to estimate. Because most people don't bring their handy dandy calculator, and it was $42.69. Let's see, what is 15 or 20% of $42.69, right?
I thought for tips you just give them a random amount of money.
No, you don't. Okay. So tips. So we'll talk about tips first. Tips. When you guys go to a restaurant. When you go to a restaurant. Guys, when you go to a restaurant and you actually, order your meal, you eat it, and then the bill comes. Traditionally, what you're expected to do, everybody is expected to leave a tip. And it's not just like, oh, I got $5 here. It's not that kind of thing. It is actually the way you figure out approximately what you're going to leave is by percents, okay? Now, typically you're supposed to leave 15%. Okay? That's the typical general rule. So if you spend $100, you're supposed to leave $15 as a tip. Okay? If you spend $50, half of 15 would be $7.50 technically. Right? So that is, and believe me, I have been a waiter, and I can vouch for the fact that it is not a ripoff. It is, waiters need it. It is if every meal is like $40. If you're in one of those big fancy restaurants, then it is kind of a ripoff. And I personally would not leave 15% for a fancy restaurant. But I shouldn't be saying this on a video, should I? But for most people who work at the Village Inn or Denny's, oh my God, they're not making hardly anything, And then the meals are like almost nothing, and they're getting 15%. It's like $3 for all this work that they do. They might make, $15 an hour, which is not a lot, right? It's not a lot. They might have five tables an hour, and they make $3 per table. That's not a lot. That's basically close to poverty level, just so you know. So it is not. It's not a great situation. Did you reach them?
We're waiting for my dad to call back because he's supposed to.
Okay. So why don't you sit out on the couch? All right.
Yeah, that's what you're.
Okay. Thank you. So thanks, Jen. So when you do tips, there's different ways you do it. I always leave 20% when I go to a normal restaurant. If I go to a really expensive restaurant, which I don't, but if I did, I would leave less than 20%. But if I go to a regular restaurant, any of the regular ones in town, I can't think of any of them right now.
McDonald's.
Not McDonald's.
Harry's Roadhouse.
You're like, yeah, Harry's Roadhouse or Blue Corn Cafe, right? All those places. I would tip 20% of whatever they get because they deserve it. They work hard. They really work hard. Now, in order to figure out tips, listen, guys. In order to figure out tips, you're always estimating. So the first thing is for tips, we are going to have to estimate. And to estimate, this is what you do. So let's say the final bill said $42.68. Okay? Three of us or four of us went out to eat, and that's what it cost, right? Okay? I don't like to leave it as $42.68 because I don't know. It's harder to figure out, well, how much is 20 or 15% of $42.68? It's better to round. So if you have a choice, you could round it. how would you round this to the nearest dollar? What would that be? 43, right? So, yeah, so let's round it to the nearest dollar. $43, right? Now, what is 10% of 43? $4.30, right? So suddenly 10% is $4.30. All you do is move the decimal one place to the right to get 10%, right? That's all you're doing. So suddenly you got $4.30. Now, what would 20% be?
$8.60.
Yeah, so you take the 10% in your brain and you think $4. I might even scrap the 30 cents and I might say, oh, well, $4 times 2 would be $8. So 20% would be approximately $8. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm estimating in my brain, right? So I'm probably not going to leave $8.60. I'm probably going to leave $8. You follow me? Because that's 20%. I'm already over what is the the accepted amount. 15% would be the normal expected amount, right? So I'm already over. So I might actually, since I know I'm going to do 20%, I might round this just up to 40. I might say 45. Well, I might round it down to 40. You know what I'm saying? Suddenly I've got, okay, $40, 10% is $4. 20% would be $4 plus $4, so that's $8, right? Easy. What if it was 5%? I mean, what if I want to do 15%? What would I do?
Divide 10% in half and then add it to 10%.
Yes, right. So 15% would be 10% plus half of 10%. 10% is $4, half of it's $2, so it would be $6, right? Approximately. I'm estimating. Do you guys see what I'm doing? Usually when you leave a tip, you don't have all this change and you don't count out your pennies and your nickels and your dimes, right? It's just dollar bills. You're plopping down a dollar, some dollar bills. So to simplify it, make it just $4, or you can make it, $40, $4, or you could do 45, but then it's $4.50. I don't know. I'd rather go to 40.
Me and my dad were at the store, and then and this is like a true story. We were at the store, and the bill was like $10, and
Yep.
she literally dumps out a jar of pennies and starts counting them one by one.
I have actually
We're like-
been there before. I
we're
know
like
what
on
that's
that-
like, where the only money you have is in that jar,
It was like,
I know what that's like. That's intense.
my dad's like, she's paying in pennies, and I'm like, maybe she's just taking a long time. And he's like, no, she's literally paying in pennies. I'm like,
Shh, guys, come back together again. Yes, Thorn.
I was sort of like that. Like when I was really young, my mom wanted me to pay for like my own thing. So we went to like Blockbuster, which is like a game / like movie rent store in Buffalo. Yeah. And I really wanted to rent a game, so she made me get out like my little sack of like pennies and stuff, and, like count each individual one, so I could rent the game for like 2 days.
That's so funny. I know, I've been there, believe me. As an adult, some of you may be there at some point. But, okay, so let's try another one. So let's say it's $69.42. Okay, that's the bill that they came up with. What would you round that to?
$70.
$70. So immediately we're talking $70, right? That's pretty easy. What is the first? You're going to have 5%, 10%, and 20%. Let's say,
$3.50, $7, and $14.
so 10%, yes.
Wait, shouldn't you round it to 69?
Yeah.
Well,
You agree?
yes, technically. But I'm saying something different. I'm actually saying try to get it to something even, right?
Gary's
So
saying if you
because
wanna
you're
be a
doing
good
it in your
person.
head. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
69 suddenly I have to figure out, okay, 10% of 69 is $6.90. 20% is, oh God, $12 and no, I got to carry so it's $13. You see what I mean? It's too hard. It's easier to just round it to 70. If I'm paying 20% anyway, I know I'm overpaying. So it's okay to just, well actually, I'm paying more anyway, because I'm going up to 70. That's okay. I'm willing to do that. I just like to see ballpark where I'm at. 10% would be what? 10%. $7. What would 5% be? $3.50. What would 20% be?
Wait, I'm so sorry.
What would 20% be? You guys, $14. That's quite a tip, right? That's quite a tip.
Yeah, like,
But
why would
it's-
you do that?
But for most of the restaurants that we have in here in this town, the ones that most people visit, guys, Thorne, for the restaurants that most people go to in this town, I'm not talking about the real expensive ones like Coyote Cafe and whatever. I'm just talking about the Blue Corn Cafe and like Harry's Roadhouse. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for a waiter or waitress. That's like 5-6 people, right? And I don't know if you've seen some of the customers are so picky. Oh my gosh, there's too much salt on this. Can you please take it away and give me another one? Oh my gosh, there's not enough salsa. Would you please bring me more salsa? Oh, and by the way, I didn't want ice in my water. Would you please take this away and bring me one without the ice, please? Oh, and you know what I mean? Some people are like that. Wait, guys, Violet's talking. Wait, guys, Violet's talking. Go ahead.
Sounds like these really weird stories about people.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Until you've actually waited tables, don't knock it. They deserve whatever they get. Believe me. Yeah.
Well, like, what you were saying about, like, just then about, like, there's ice in my water, bring it back, bring another one. It's like, when you ask them to do something, then they should, like, do that. And if they don't, then you're gonna, like, ask again.
Right.
And then they shouldn't get
So-
hit because they got the thing wrong.
So if on the homework, well, I guess I explain what to do. So you guys can figure out the tip part.
Gary,
So-
don't Grace.
I mean, 50 cents.
Sorry. I don't remember what it was. $70. It was $7 for 10%. It was 14 for 20, and it was $3.50 for 5. Right?
We pay whiteboards do this like after just because like there's
Next
some
week we'll do it.
who, like, they don't get a chance to
Guys,
say what
stop.
they think the answer is because other people say the answer before they get a chance to answer for themselves.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they just copy what they said.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do the whiteboard.
Yeah,
So let's do one more. Nobody shout out the answer, okay? Nobody shout out the answer. Here's one more. We've got $83.04. Okay? Don't shout it out. Think about what are you going to estimate it to? What are you going to round it to? Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say it. And then figure out what 10% of that would be.
Wait, do you want us to round down or up?
You decide.
Up, down, up, down.
What do you think would be most appropriate? Yeah, that's what I would do.
I'm saying that this is a rip off.
Gary, do you want it to be 10%, 20%?
So think of what 10% is. So in everybody's mind, you have figured out 10%. Don't say it yet. On 3, we're gonna say what 10%
Wait,
is.
Gary. Wait.
Yes, Dorn.
Switch 83 to 85 or just 80?
If it were me, I would estimate this. Remember, you're doing this in your head, right? You want to keep it simple. I would round it to 80, right? Because a nice even number, really easy, right?
What about 82?
I don't really know.
What about
83 would even be closer, right? But 80 is close enough. I mean, $80, since we're gonna,
Yeah.
you see what I mean? That's what I would do. But what you did is not wrong. It's totally right. You can say 84, right? And then you can say 10% of 84 is $8.40. I'd rather not have the 40 cents. I'd rather have just $8, right? Personally. So 10% again is what? $8. What's 20%?
$16.
$16,
Wait, why
right?
isn't it 12 for 10?
4.
10%? Why isn't it?
10%, all you have to do is move the decimal one step to the left. That gives you 10%. So we are really running out of time from this.
We're actually out of time.
Yeah, so now sometimes I'm going to just Oh God, I don't know what to do. I do have another class. Let me just see if they'd be willing. Can you just go ask them? If I could have
Stabbing me. If you
5 more
want-
minutes? Is it possible?
Why did you stab me? Rebecca.
I guarantee
Rebecca, when you do this, people draft by
people
Okay.
at this school don't go. No.
Okay, guys. Yes or no?
Probably.
Probably.
She's like 15 more minutes and then she left back talking.
No, 5. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, I now need you guys to be totally quiet. Absolutely not a word. Noah, not a word. I need you guys to listen and focus, okay? Emily, not a word.
Wait, one sec.
Okay? Thorn, not a word. Okay. So, there are different kinds of word problems, right? That involve percents. A lot of them say that there is a total number of fish in the pond, and 5% of them are yellow, and 20% of them are blue, and 75% of them are green, right? And so, of them, of what? Of the original, right? If there's 100 fish in the pond, and it says 5% of them, do you notice the word of again? 5% of. So 5.05 times. What? Them. What's them? Them's the original, the 100, right? So 0.05 times 100. All right. What if it said, 20%? Okay, that's of them are yellow, right? Right? So you guys, you know what to do. It's just 0.05 times 100. That would give you the number of yellow fish. And at 20% of them means 100, right? Are blue. And then 75% of them are green. So you would all know how to find the number of fish in the pond, of the different colors of fish. Am I right? Everybody knows fish to 5. I just want to know for sure you all get that.
Oh, so it's just like
Yes, it's just like those, exactly. There's 100 fish total in the pond. Total, right? So it's 0.05 times 100 would give you the number of yellow fish. 0.20 times 100 would give you the number of blue fish. 0.75 times 100 would give you the number of green fish. Does that see what I'm saying? When it says of, that's your key. There's got to be a number there afterwards. Them stands for this. Right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So is that, yeah.
You're always going to see the word of after a percent. You just always are. So if they give you a percent and they give you the word of, then you know you got to find that other thing that you're going to multiply that by. And them stands for that, right? See what I'm saying? So there's problems like that. Now there's also some income problems. So for like income, you guys know what income is?
money.
It's money. It's like when you work for, please stop. When you work, right, for a living, some people are paid in different ways. Some people are paid straight commission. Like if you work as a realtor, right? Selling real estate, selling houses, you don't get any hourly wage. Most of them, they do not get anything for anything they do except sell a house. Once a house closes, they get a commission. And a commission is, please stop, Thorn. A commission is the same thing as a percent of the total, the final sales price of the house. Does that make sense? So how much did I earn? If I sell house for $135,000, right? And I make a commission of 3%, right? How much did I make? Whoops. How much is that? How much is that? Right? That's my wage. That's my earnings. So how do I do it? It's going to be 3% of. There's always the word of after 3%. So how do I write 3% as a decimal? 0.03 times what? 135,000, right? That's going to give me, that'll tell you and all of us how much I made selling that house. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't have a calculator.
So get calculators.
Right? 10%, I could tell you this though, 10% would be 13,500, right? And this is 3%, so I'd have to divide 13,000 by 3, so that's about $4,000, a little over $4,000, right? And that's great because sometimes realtors will go for 4 months, maybe 5 months before their house closes. And they don't get any money until it closes, right? So they're going for 4 or 5 months without any income whatsoever. And then suddenly it closes. It doesn't mean they're rich. It means they have to pay back 4 to 5 months worth of expenses, right? And then suddenly they have to hope another house is going to close soon because otherwise they're going to be poor.
And also
Right?
some people, and then most houses like in New York City and stuff like that could be like a couple million.
Now, sometimes though, guys, listen to this really carefully. This is my last thing I have to talk about. Sometimes you get a salary versus a commission. Or a salary plus a commission. Salary is something like, it's a set amount that you get every year for working somewhere. Gary works at this school and he makes $20,000 a year. Boom. Right? That's not true. But
A day.
just so you know. Hopefully it's more than that. Okay. But
That's pretty
20
cool.
but 20 if somebody has a salary, it means of 20,000, it means they've agreed to work for an entire year for $20,000. Most likely full time, right? Sometimes though, you get paid as a salary plus a commission, right? Salespeople, this is kind of typical of some salespeople, that will give you $10,000 a month. $10,000 a year, which isn't much. It's totally poverty level. You never live on $10,000 a year, and plus a 5% commission on sales. So, and then if let's say that. Let's say let's change this now. I work for $10,000 salary per year, right? And then plus a 5% commission, right? On sales. Wait, don't leave yet. On sales. Don't leave yet. Just stay with me for just 1 second. And I sell $1,000. I sell $1,000 worth of product, right? Don't leave yet. Here it is. So my income is equal to this. You should be writing this down. Take out your notes. I didn't tell you to put your notes away. Take them out. Finish writing this down. Trust me, you guys are going to be lost this weekend. Otherwise, come on, I want that extra effort, right? Income is equal to my salary, right? At the end of the year, I'm going to make $10,000, right? Plus what? 5% of what? Of $1,000. So I got to write that. 0.05 times 1,000. And then I add them together. So write that down in your notes before you leave. And then I'm going to give you your homework, and then you can go. Here's your homework. Let's turn this off.